Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining me to talk about UX performance indicators and OKR update for April of 2020. Let me share my screen. So one of the things that we track as a UX department is our perception of system usability. This is an indicator of how usable our overall product is. We use an industry standard survey called the System Usability Scale Survey to do this. And you can see we have about 4 quarters worth of data right now around that. And what we have found is that our perception of system usability has been flat over that time. We are running our Q1 survey now. The results are almost in, and I'll be updating this metric when we have the data to do so, but we're hoping to see a trend upward. We also track the ratio of proactive versus reactive UX work, and what we mean by that is work that we have done validation or research work on. That could be problem validation or solution validation. In the last quarter, so our target is 2 validation issues per product designer per quarter. In the last quarter, we had just a little bit more than that, so that was great. In this quarter so far, we've had 34 validation efforts. And so if we keep on that track when the April data comes in, it looks like we might be a little bit under target, but we're not sure yet, so I will update that as soon as the data is in. A big topic of discussion in the UX department is UX debt. So what UX debt means is when a cross-functional product team has agreed on a solution to implement, when that solution makes it into production, it has problems. So it could be that the interaction design doesn't work the way that we intended for it to, or it could be that the components that we use don't align with our design system pajamas. As you can see, UX debt has gone up significantly over time. Probably the bigger problem here is that our average days to close a UX debt issue is hovering a little over 400 days, which is too long. So we're doing a lot of work here to figure out what the problems are and how we can resolve this. One of the things that we've done is set up a UX debt dashboard so that we can see UX debt on a stage group by stage group basis, so just we can get a better sense of where the UX debt is. And we're going to be partnering with our product management peers to help prioritize getting this UX debt resolved. On a good note, our throughput of technical writing team documentation MRs has gone up steadily over time. Our target is 25 MRs per technical writer per month, but as you can see in April of 2020 with a team of 11 technical writers, we actually hit an average of about 44 MRs. So that means 2 things. One is we probably need to raise our target. I think it's time. The other thing that it means, though, is that all of the new technical writers we've hired over the last 6 months or so have been successfully onboarding and are now contributing to our documentation, which is wonderful. And we also track the distribution of technical writing team documentation effort. So our goal is for 50% of our tech writing MRs to be focused on proactively making our docs better. That means improvements to existing content, revamps of content just to make the content easier to use, and then also focused on new features. Our target again is 50%. This last month we hit about 44%. So we'll just be keeping an eye on that. We're pretty close. And now I'm going to look at OKRs. So this quarter we focused on validating our category maturity ratings. In the past, category maturity has been assigned by GitLab, but we want to make that we want to change that so that it's validated by our users. This is something that no company has done before, so we knew we needed to come up with a process for that. And so that's what this OKR was focused on. And so we did that. We did define a category maturity scorecard process. We ran a pilot where several stage groups participated. We learned a lot from that. We also went in knowing that because it was something new, we wouldn't get everything right, and that did play out. So we are working on refining that process now and piloting that new process in Q2. Thanks to all of our product designers who participated in training for this. They understood what that pilot process was, and then we're keeping everyone in the loop as we update it. As a follow-on to that OKR, we actually used the process to validate the maturity for several of our stage groups. So release orchestration, we validated, is in fact viable. Error tracking is also viable. Logging, we've got some open questions on, and we're still looking to see what the results of license compliance and roadmaps are. And then lastly, we had an OKR for defining career paths for the entire UX department. So that means that every functional area within UX, technical writing, UX research, and product design should have a full career path from intermediate through director. We were missing some roles, and so we got those created. We also updated every role to make sure that it's what it needed to be, so that everyone felt confident that they understood what the expectations are for their role. So that was a lot of work from our leadership team. I really appreciate everything that they did. And our next step here is to run a survey within the UX department to make sure that everyone has gotten a chance to look at this, that they understand what it means for them. And our goal is for them to have an inspiring career path so they stick around at GitLab and continue doing the great work that they're already doing. All right, thank you for spending time with me today.